Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
We are super glad to see you guys here today. Welcome. I, once again, have not... Okay, what's that? Who's having snacks?
Oh,
right?
it's me. Sorry, I've been up since 5. So I had breakfast at. Right.
I just heard this like squirrel noise, like.
Oh, sorry, I have like a bag of granola.
Right, that's
Squirrel
right.
savvy. Squirrel savvy.
That's right. I love that. That's pretty awesome, doll. Oh my gosh, you guys. So hello everybody. Before we get started today, of course I have not posted anything on Facebook or Twitter or anything yet. I could not get going this morning. I think it's because the weather's like overcast here. So I've just been like, I was like in the shower for like 45 minutes. I wasn't that dirty, but I was in the shower. I just like those. So, but my skin's really soft, so that's nice. Okay.
I've had those days.
I know, right? All right. Before I forget, as you know, I'm occasionally prone to do, let us introduce our fabulous co-host today. Let's start with you today, Robert. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little about your channel?
Well, my channel is The Story Detective, and we take everything story-oriented and put it under a Sherlockian microscope and examine it, break down the craft, and give it to the viewers so that they can improve their own writing. And I do tech reviews.
I always feel like that's like a tag on. We got to like figure out a way to like make that go in, because it does, like, it's all part of the essence of Robert. So it does fit.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
There's tech reviews. There's been some lightsaber stuff, which has generated some other things, which I'll get into at another time. But the tech review stuff is going to be a little upped when I start making videos again, because I have some computers that I'm refurbishing, and there's some interesting stories to tell behind the crap that I got off eBay.
I am very interested in the crap that you got off eBay. I love, like, I keep all of my old Macs. I have a little Mac graveyard in my closet, and yeah, so I'm always like sort of fascinated. Oop, hold on. I was trying to be cool and get the timer ready, and of course it just started playing while I'm having a conversation with you. So sorry about that. Anyway, I'm excited to hear about the crap that you get off eBay. Savvy, I don't know why I feel bad. There's no good transition to go to Savvy.
That's all good.
Speaking of people who love eBay. No, that's not a good.
Speaking of people who does reviews on all kinds of things that can get on eBay.
Yeah, that's me. I review everything.
That's it. Speaking of which, holy smokes. Wait, do you have like a fantastic video title? I saw wait, hold on, let me find it really fast. It popped up today and I haven't had a chance to watch it. But it was something like, wait, hold on, I'll find
something about Rachel Hollis.
No, it wasn't a Rachel Hollis one. I know there is a Rachel Hollis one, and I don't know if this one was an older one. Oh, it might have been. It popped up and it was like a feminist school.
Oh, feminist destroys bro with facts and logic.
Yeah.
That's coming out on Friday. It's a premiere. So yeah, I uploaded it this morning, but it's premiering on Friday morning.
Okay, good. Yeah, I saw it on my home page. So yeah, so I was like, oh my God, that's like the greatest thumbnail in the history.
Oh, thank you.
That's pretty awesome. All right, so tell us about speaking of great thumbnails, Savvy, tell us about you and your channel.
I'm Savvy from Savvy Writes Books. My channel is all about everything small business related, and that includes writing, being an author with a small press, running my own company that produces books, and also looking into kind of entrepreneurship and hustle culture and kind of critiquing some of the business self-help books that are out there and exposing some of the scams that are out there that are trying to capitalize on people's entrepreneurial mindsets. So that is my channel. Yeah, right now what I'm doing is my friend RK and I are we're doing for a couple weeks at a time. We're doing where we live a week in the life of a different business guru, because most of the business gurus that sell their coaching services, they have pretty clear like daily routines that they do, that they talk about. So we're trying to live out all their different daily routines for a week. So this week we've been being Rachel Hollis. So she wakes up at 5 a.m. every day and live streams at 8 a.m. every day and does a bunch of workouts and stuff in the middle. So that's what we've been doing. So we've been exhausted from that. And so I took a nap. Like we streamed from 8 to 9 today. So like I had an hour between that stream and this one. So I napped for 45 minutes. So that kind of helped a little bit.
I'm so proud of you for waking up, Savvy, because whenever you're not on the stream, it's always because you're asleep.
Because I fell asleep.
It's like, where's Savvy? She's sleeping.
She's sleeping, or because Chewy needs a walk. Neither of these things can be
Well,
managed.
no, so this morning for my workout, I took Chewy on a run through the snow, which was fun. He enjoyed that. So yeah, next week we're going to live like Grant Cardone. I can't wait to live like Tony Robbins, who uses a 15-minute torture device every morning, then goes from extreme hot to extreme cold and sleeps 3 hours a night.
I kind of wonder about whether these guys are really doing it.
It could
Tony
be.
Robbins isn't getting any younger.
We
3
also
hours a night,
have.
he's gonna fall on his
We're
face.
gonna live like Tom Brady for a week. I think we might, maybe Steve Jobs. I don't know. We're just looking at a bunch of different people. We're gonna live like that for a week.
Dude, I'm curious. I'm curious to see if you're gonna try the Gary Vaynerchuk routines. If he has.
Does
if
he has? Does
any.
Gary Vaynerchuk have a daily routine? I couldn't find it. So if he has one, I will do it.
No idea, because like this is the only thing I like about that guy is and I am kind of the same.
Mm-hmm.
I don't share my private life. I don't. So that's
it.
No, I don't. It's like there's a separation between the author and the and the person.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So that's what I've been doing, and using that. But like. We've just been streaming every morning to talk about what we learned from the morning routine, what we like, what we don't like, what's ridiculous, and what actually has some merit to it, reviewing it, and then just like doing a live stream where it's like our morning show now. So we're doing it every day at 8 a.m. until the end of time, I guess.
I can't, like, I think it's fascinating that you're picking all these people who say that they don't need that much sleep. Like, I don't think there are some people who just need less sleep than others.
I need a lot of sleep, so I just keep napping.
There is no
bullshit.
Yeah,
I think it's
true. I used to have a roommate that only needed about 5 or 6 hours a night, and she did great. And I need like 8, solidly 8 hours.
I usually need 10, so I'm struggling because I sleep too much. But I wish I like that I have more time to get more things done, but I also feel so exhausted.
Yeah. Well, and at a certain point, you have like diminishing returns where you're super tired. Oh my gosh. I think you need to be well rested to be creative. I find that I really struggle to work if I am not getting enough. Like I really struggle to write well if I'm not getting enough sleep.
Yeah.
All right. We don't want to forget Miss Doll. Doll, tell us about you and your awesome channel.
Hello there, humans. I am Books Cecil Runo. I'm a partially blind own voices author, also known as the Ace from Space. I write primarily science fiction, but I also write poetry and short stories in multiple genres. I stream on Tuesday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern, which means 2 p.m. Central Europe, 1 p.m. UK and Ireland. And
I'm lost. What time Eastern again?
8 a.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to
8
know.
a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, 6 a.m. Arizona, and the Pacific is still sleeping. So whatever.
My That's amazing.
Yeah. I'm basically streaming at 8 a.m. So same as Savvy this week. It's like, but only on Tuesdays.
So you start streaming an hour before me. So.
Because she's Central Time.
Yeah,
I stream at 8 a.m. Central Time. Yeah,
that's true.
All right, so you're 8 a.m. on Tuesdays now. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to write that down. Remind me at the end of the stream when we talk about the next stream, so that I can give you a little shout out. But I'm going to go ahead and 8 a.m. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chat though. Or in the description, but. Speaking of the chat, that was terrible. I'm like not doing great with my transitions today. Usually I'm okay, right? Not today.
No, you're doing fine. You're good.
You're doing great. Don't worry.
Michael's here. Hello, Michael. We're super glad to see you today. Yay! I'm so glad you're here. Laurel's here. Laura is here. Hi.
Laurel is also here. You saw it down below.
Oh, that's what it is. Laurel's here. Hi, Laurel. Hi, Laura. Submitted 2 short stories to anthologies on Monday. Look at you drafting a new one.
Super proud of you.
Yeah, no kidding. Fantastic. That's amazing. All right, Debbie's here. Hello, Debbie. We're super glad to see you today. And Laurel is here. Hello. So glad to see you today. Oh my gosh. Sophia's here. Hey, Sophia. We're so glad to see you.
Good to see you.
Steven's here.
Hi, Steven.
Hello. So glad to see you. Oh my gosh, you guys. All right, Nicole. Hello, darling. We're so glad you're here today. Says, I need more sleep than I wish I did. I can relate to that, right? You go,
yeah,
wow,
me too. Yeah.
I wish
I had more hours in the day. I have so much more.
I'm like Savvy. Savvy and I are like workaholic freaks.
Yeah.
Virgo represent. Hello, Virgo. But both of us also need more sleep than we want to. It's like it's the same thing. Savvy is like my extroverted sister.
That is true. I think that's an accurate representation. Yes.
That is fantastic. All right. How much, you guys, how much sleep in the chat? Let's know. How much sleep do you need? Like to get a good night's sleep, to feel great, to get what you need to get done. Like what's your ideal amount of sleep that you need? And do you get it? That's what I want to know.
All right. Do you get it?
Do you get it? Oscar is here. Hello, Oscar. So glad to see you.
Oscar. Good to see you. Moved to Italy. I think he followed me from one of my streams or something. Or you've been here too? I don't know. But yeah, I saw Oscar yesterday and he's in Italy. So yay. Fun.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Or fantastico. I lived in Italy for 6 months. And
that's why I mentioned it.
I loved it. I still remember how to make really good penne arrabbiata, but I do not remember very much Italian. I don't. Although every time I'm with someone who speaks Italian, I do pick it up a little bit. But
Malisa, perché non mi?
Okay, not that much. Wait, hold on.
I can't. Okay. If anybody wants to practice Italian, ciao. I'm here.
Here's what I remember from my many months living in Italy. Everywhere you go, ciao bella, ciao bella, ciao bella, everywhere. All right, here we go.
Especially if you're a lady, you know, ciao bella, ciao bella, ciao bella.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, it was something like as an American, and I was younger, like to have people like follow you down the alleyways and like my hair's pretty dark now, but like when I was in my 20s, it was very red. And right, if I spend any time in the sun, my hair gets really red, and that was like, I guess, I don't know, unusual, like at the time. So yeah, anyway, great and scary. And also I've never loved pasta more. All right. Okay. Steven says 5 a.m. for him. He's talking about Doll Stream.
Yeah.
Spence is here.
Yeah, Pacific time.
Hello, Spence. We're so glad you're here today. All right, we're talking about how much sleep do you need and do you get it? All right. Next week we're talking about how much. No, I'm not saying that. JC is here.
Hi,
hello, JC. We're super glad to see you today. All right. Oscar says he needs 8 to 10 hours and he gets it. That is awesome. Right? Laura needs 10 hours, sometimes 12 to catch up on my 8-hour nights. Yep, that is very good. All right, fantastic. Callie, it's her first time doing a sprint. Yay, welcome. We are super, super glad to see you today. I'm Lisa. That's Robert. And over there, we have Doll and Savvy. So very nice to meet you. We're super glad you made it today. All right, Nicole, 8 to 10 hours. Depends on how interrupted my sleep is by kids, bladder, brain. Celia right there. Laurel gets 7.5 hours. She's fine with that. Last night she got more than 8 and it was glorious. Yeah. I took a 3-hour nap yesterday. Like I didn't sleep well the night before, and I got up, I did some stuff, and I went back to bed for like 3 hours, and it was awesome. All right, Debbie 6 to 8 hours, depends on what I'm doing the next day. Interesting. All right. Spence wants to be at a point where I'm getting 9 hours of sleep a night on a regular basis because I kick so much ass when I get 9 hours in a night. Right? That's the thing is I think sometimes people think if they sleep less that they'll have more time to do stuff. But I am the reverse. I think if I get more sleep, that I'm so much more productive that it's worth the hour, of daylight that you're missing to get more sleep. All right.
Yeah.
JC sleeps on average 5 or 6 hours. Don't always feel like I get enough sleep, but for some reason I cannot manage to go to bed before 3 a.m. You have like a crazy busy life though, JC. I mean, yeah. So 3 a.m. Ooh, I used to be like that, but now I wake up earlier. But part of that's like, if you have kids, you have to kind of be more on their schedule. And so I can't just sleep till noon and write till, 3 in the morning anymore. I wish I could. All right. So I really do. But I could see like she's getting 5 hours of sleep because her body's on that 3 a.m. schedule. But then she's got to be up by like 8 to have like her regular life. So, yeah. Spence, I want to swing in the complete opposite direction and only get 4 and make it work, but I can't handle getting less than 6 anymore. I definitely can't. Steven needs 7 hours. All right. Oscar. I had a 15-kilo bag of pellets in one arm, laptop in the other, walking up the stairs while you're saying Chabella. Oh, Charlotte, I'm so sorry. Your fake YouTube name. Hello, Charlotte. Hold on. Let me write that down so I don't forget. If I call you Oscar
it's a Charlotte.
again.
Huh.
Yeah. All right, Charlotte, if I call you Oscar again, I'm going to pause. All right. Yeah, Daw will correct me. It takes me a couple times. Please don't be offended. All right. I'm a slow learner. Laura slept 12 hours last night. It was so great. Michael knew a man, incidentally, who once owned a prominent bookstore in British Columbia. He said he had the curse of being both a night and a morning person. He told me that for the past 30 years, he had only gotten on average 3 hours of sleep a night. If you were able to, like, if that's just what your body needed, and there are somebody had said something earlier about super sleepers, and I think I saw it. Oh, here. Laurel said there are super sleepers who truly only need 4 to 5 hours of sleep. I am not one of them.
I wish I could be, because I also sleep like a rock every night. Like, I don't budge. Nothing wakes me up. I am like deep in sleep, but I also need to do it for like 10 hours, and it's ridiculous. I'm like, why do I have to sleep so hard and for so much time? That's ridiculous.
I think I have a thing. I have a theory for this, Savvy.
Yeah.
Both of us are very active when we're awake. Like the brain is just going. Yeah. So like maybe that's why you sleep like a rock.
That makes sense. Yeah, we're too exhausted from doing too much.
I think that's true. I definitely need more. Okay, wait, let me go back to this. JC said, I used to stay up all night back in my college days and truly feel like those all-nighters are coming back to bite me. My mother warned me it would catch up. Mothers are always right. Always right. Well, not always, but a lot of times they are. All right, as you can see by our great big screen here, it is almost time to do our 5-minute warm-up sprint. That's not very much of a transition, but I think I mentioned earlier I'm terrible at transitions today. All right, you guys, let's get going. We're going to take a big drink of water and stretch our little writing fingers and get ready to do a 5-minute sprint. When we come back, I want to know what everybody is working on today, and we'll see how you do. All right, here we go, guys. 3, 2, 1. Sprint. Me talking again, being muted. So, all right, that's just so me. Oh, we lost Robert. So I just realized, wait a minute, Michelle's not here today. So I did send her the link earlier. I'll have to check it on my email. She's like the one person I don't send on Facebook. So, all right. Laurel says, I'm still working on feeding myself at the moment, but hopefully we'll get some flash fiction written later. That is very fantastic.
Woo!
Michael got more coffee during the 5-minute sprint. That's good. Now you're all ready to write or chat or just, do whatever, hang out. So let's go around, you guys, talk about what we are going to be working on today. Savvy, let's start with you. What are you doing today?
So my goal for today is to finish the first full draft of the workbook that goes with Savvy Business Owner.
Yay.
So the workbook is going to be kind of short. I think it's going to be under 50 pages, ideally, because I want it to just be kind of a companion thing, and I want to be able to sell it for pretty cheap as just an add-on.
Right. Right.
So I spent the 5-minute sprint going through the sections I have and marking which ones I finished the worksheets for, which ones I have like most of it done, and then which ones are ones that like I have a lot of incomplete places that I need to finish. So that way I can figure out where I need to focus during each sprint. And then I just started reading over and seeing what was there, and then the 5 minutes were up.
I know it goes really fast.
Yeah. So that's my goal for today.
It
Both
goes
on
really fast.
this one and on the sleepover stream tonight. By the end of both of these streams, I'm hoping to have the first full draft completed of the workbook.
Very, very nice. Doll, what are you working on today?
I started the 5-minute warm-up with scripting the horrible nightmare I had last night as a form of fiction. So I'm gonna do this as a coping strategy to balance out my day instead of being stuck in the nightmare for the rest of the day and losing a day of my existence. No, I refuse. I am writing that piece of trash into a piece of flash fiction. I think this one is going to be a horror, and
Sounds like it.
it might be So am I roboting or something?
No, you're fine. No, I just said it sounds like it would be good for her. So
yeah, so
definitely.
in this 5-minute sprint I started writing. The piece apparently has a working title. It's called White Figurines. And yeah, White Figurines. That sounds scary already.
That does. That's a scary title.
Yeah, White Figurines, and it's I did 105 words in this 5-minute sprint.
Look at you, very nice. All right,
when I'm writing a nightmare, when I'm just like writing as if I were a character, I am the character. If you wanna hear an example of I am the character, like there's no naming or description, and I am just a character, you can look at my flash fiction. It's called The Liminal Void. It's on my channel. That's a nightmare I had. I basically just turned the nightmare into a piece of flash fiction and submitted it to the AUTHORTUBE audiobook anthology. I really had that nightmare.
That is such a good way to like deal with that, though. And that's the thing is, like, how many times have you? I mean, I have definitely solved solved book problems in my sleep. So who's to say you're not just writing in your sleep? Maybe you're having these nightmares, but that it's just your brain telling you a story and not something to just terrify you. It's to terrify all of us.
I will try to look at it that way because it's a great approach, and it might help with stopping the nightmares altogether, maybe. But it's really uncomfortable. This is why I don't have the camera on today. I am not presentable, and I woke up with palpitations, and I'm just having a rough day today. But I am coping with it, and I'm writing it into a piece of fiction. We are writers, so I'm turning it into something productive.
Right? Nora Ephron always says everything is copy, and there is no greater truth than that. Okay, so that is, I'm very glad to hear it. We will find out what Robert's doing when he comes back. Laura, I don't know why I'm doing this. Sorry. I keep looking like down to make sure I'm not missing anybody. Laura is getting inspiration from my Lovecraft. I don't know what a LART, I know what LARPing is, but I don't know what LARTP is. LARP? Live action role.
It's an acronym.
Yeah. Okay, tell us what LARTP is, because I don't know. Or is that just LARP with a typo? All right, my Lovecraft something in the 80s with college kids who accidentally really summon an eldritch god. Creature sounds continue once the boombox.
That sounds really cool.
It does sound cool. Debbie's working on a comic script. That's awesome. Charlotte working on her first novel, end of chapter 2, adult fiction, pretty dark and gritty. Alzheimer's, grief, and regret are some of the main themes. Good for you. Fantastic.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
And also, like, it's so exciting, isn't it? Like starting a new book.
Yes.
Really good. So, yay. Welcome. I'm so glad you joined us today. This is fantastic. All right. Michael says, looking at Robert's screen makes me think of the movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Robert, wait, can you see him? He's like standing on top of the microphone. He's like, help, help. Can you see me? Help, help. All right. Okay. Nicole is researching book marketing strategies. So much different information. That is so, so true. Usually, we did not do this month because I basically spaced it out. It was sort of an accident. I didn't realize it until 2 minutes before the stream. Mm-hmm. But we usually, the very first week of the month, the first stream of the month, we do platform building and promo talk. And so I know you're usually here for that. But which books are you, or which strategies are you looking at? Where are you looking for your information? I'm dying to know. All right. Laura says LARP. Okay, good. I did. Robert.
Sorry, I got an important phone call and it was unexpected. I've been waiting for a couple of days and they decided
to do it now.
Right. Well, Michael had a theory that that you had been shrunk a la Honey, I Shrunk the Kids style.
That's Ant-Man style, not Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Okay. Oh, yeah, right. Exactly. And so we were pretty sure we could see you calling for help from the top of your microphone. Anyway. All right. Laura can't type. Me either. The dishes, laundry, started my journal for the day. Very nice. Laurel says I've been called Laura so many times. It's a new experience hearing a Laura called Laurel. It's because I keep like looking down and I'm always trying to kind of manage the comments. And I think we all learned from, past experience that I cannot do more than one thing at a time. And so I'm talking to Laura, but I see Laurel's down in the comments, or especially if StreamYard jumps, it makes it harder for me.
Yeah, then, I'm like you, Lisa. I can do one thing at a time and that's it. Yes. That's where now the good thing is, like, I really am focused. When I'm doing the thing that I'm doing. But yeah, I'm otherwise like, what? Okay. Nicole says, I did a basic Google search first. Maybe I should research my specific genre. What is your genre? I don't recall. Does anybody know what genre Nicole writes in? Not coming to mind right away. Isn't it paranormal romance?
I don't know. Nicole?
I might be wrong, Nicole. I'm sorry. We haven't interacted that much. But I think it's paranormal romance or paranormal fantasy. Probably.
All right. Well, tell us where you're starting and what your genre is. And we'll see if we can't give you some places to look. All right. Laura says, in my major in college, there were 3 Lauras, a Laura, a Lauren, and a Lauren, or Laren, or all Laurens. Great times. There's half the girls in animation, right? Yes. We need Lori, Lauren, and Layla to join the chat. Yes. All right. Okay, so Nicole says, yes, paranormal romance, 3-book series so far. Look at you. All right. Charlotte says, if the name's a problem and you want something memorable, my nickname is Toothpaste.
Dude.
I have so far not managed to screw up your name, although I may have.
I am thrilled that I remembered, because I have not really chatted with Nicole, I think, in a long time, or maybe we never had a one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
And I still remember.
That's pretty impressive, doll.
Like, how the hell?
I know you're kind of amazing that way, though. You do often remember details about people. I'm always fascinated by that. All right, you guys, let's get going because it's already 11:30. Oh, Laurel says, "Don't leave out Lorelei." I always love that.
Oh
I
my
always love
God.
that name, right? Because I love Marilyn Monroe, and that is her name in one of the it's the one with Jane Russell, blonde. Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. Love that.
By the
movie.
way, Lisa has a book with famous quotes from Marilyn Monroe. If you want to look at that.
How do you know that? Oh my gosh, I never talk
Kindle.
about that.
Kindle.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. All right, Michael says, if all else fails, just give us all the numbers. All right. I haven't done any live streams in a long time, but I'm impressed by your memory, doll. I am always impressed by doll's memory.
It's a gift and a curse, because you remember the good things, but you also remember the trauma. And it's hard to forget. So it could be both. I'm always like, this is why I love Lisa, because Lisa has a skill that I don't, and I admire it, and I am going to learn from her, because Lisa has the skill of redirecting the thoughts into a more positive focus.
Thank you. That's so nice. I thought you were going to say juggling. No, I'm kidding. Thank you. That is really very sweet of you. I am very flattered. I'm a terrible juggler, in case anyone's wondering. Okay, that's good. Well, speaking of redirecting and getting focused, let's go ahead and do a 20-minute sprint.
That's like transition.
That was a transition. I'm back, guys. I've got it now. All right, Here we go. So here is our 20-minute beach timer. And we're going to start doing our awesome sprint. Actually, you know what, doll? You're the queen of the takeout. So I don't think that's a real word. I mean, it is a real word, like you take out pizza or hamburgers or whatever. But I think you're the sprint
That's
out,
also accurate.
the warm up, the call out. All right, here we go. Doll's going to lead us into our next sprint. Here we go, doll.
Dear writers, artists, and creative people in general, get ready for a 20-minute sprint where you're going to work your magic. Write your words, paint your portraits, do whatever you need to do. Be productive, be yourself, be awesome in 3, 2, 1, and sprint.
All right. Oh. I can't get back to the timer. Stop timer. Oh my gosh, you guys, today.
Wow.
Yeah, right? That's just me today. That would help. Uh-oh, who'd we lose? We lost Savvy. Uh-oh. All right. So, let's see. Savvy says, my internet stopped working, trying to restart everything and hope to be back. We hope so too. Can I say, like, I was like so into writing that I just looked up and noticed that she was gone. I'm very sorry about that. All right. So hopefully her internet will be working again and we will be back. What we did not do is go around and say, wait, we did say what we were working on today, didn't we? Never mind. I didn't say what I was working on today. I'm working on polishing pages for my new rom-com because I will be sending them over to my agent by the end of the month. I'm a little conflicted about this. I love this book idea, and I've never done like an indie release for a novel before. And there's part of me that wants to try it, and then there's a part of me that wants the continuing support of a publisher. So I'm really, yeah, I know, right? I'm really conflicted about that. So anyway. Thoughts, everybody? Okay, so hi. Oh no, just quick FYI, your link to Story Detective is a bad link. Uh-oh. All right, I'll go back and check. You know what I do is I like basically copy and paste for all eternity.
So maybe you were missing a letter or something.
Yeah, something like that. All right, I'll go back in and do everybody, just make sure everybody's links are working. Story Detective. You know what?
It's all one word. It's not supposed to be 2 words, so maybe that's it.
I think she means the link in the description.
Okay.
Are you a wrench, Robert? I think you are. Can you throw a link up to your channel either in the StreamYard comments or in the, and I'll put them in there, and then I'll fix it after the stream. But I want to make sure that, is it Gin? I'm going to say Gin, but I don't know. Will you tell us how to pronounce your name phonetically? And also, welcome to the stream. I think you're new. All right. Aphrodite. Wait, hold on. I missed a whole bunch. Aphrodite's here. Hello.
Hi, Aphrodite.
Hey, Aphrodite.
We're super glad you're here. You're never late. As long as we're going, you're on time. You're just like fashionably late because that's how cool you are. Right? That's it. Very Bad Books is here. Hello.
Morning.
How is your process, your submission process going? I'm kind of dying to know. I need an update. I've not been on Facebook all week because I think all you guys know it's not my favorite. I really only talk to other author-tubers and other writers on Facebook. And right. And I want a status update. I feel like I've been buried this week. So everybody says, hey, Triple B. Michael made me snort laugh earlier. Like when I initially put up his comment about, he said, if all else fails, just give us numbers. I just like said that. It didn't register until later. And I was literally sitting here and it hit me and I went like, snort laugh. Snort laugh. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I know. You know what? I used to be embarrassed about that, and now I just go.
It's a part of you.
It's so ladylike. All right. Anyway, yeah. There we go. Eva's here. Hello, Eva.
Hi, Eva.
There we go. Very, very nice. Aphrodite. Oh, everybody just jumped. Aphrodite says, I'm so sleepy. I'm going to go take a nap. Happy writing. Well, thanks for coming and going. All right. Laura says, drinking my cran raspberry ginger ale. Oh, that sounds good. Get a little extra sparkle. Laurel is reading more instead of trying to write. Jen,
been there.
Jen like the alcohol, but less bitter. I like that. That's nice. Laurel says, almost done reading Bird by Anne Lamott. That is a classic. I will recommend it for anyone who hasn't read it already. It is a lovely, lovely book. Yeah. And it's sort of one of those, right, Bird by Bird. It's a writing book. It's kind of a classic. It's like one of those that you should own and read. I will say, though, it's not one of my favorite books. Like, it wasn't one of those that I just really loved, that really resonated with me. But I think this kind of goes to what we have said before about how it's so good to read a lot of different writing books, because you never know which one is going to be the magical one that like connects with you.
Yeah.
Right.
I kind of felt the same way about that book, and I've heard her talk about different things, and a lot of people also talk about her, but I think what she geared the book for is coming at it from a slightly different angle, or maybe for beginners, because it didn't have that same Anne Lamott pow.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, Nicole says she's still lost in marketing research.
Nicole, are you in contact with Sky, with SD Hedges? Because like she also writes paranormal romance, and she has been putting her books out often. Like I don't know, maybe she would have some marketing tools for you. Probably. Like if you're not in contact with SD Hedges, like reach out to her. Tell her I told you.
You're like the ultimate connector, doll. Nicole, I'm sort of curious as to where you are. So you have a 3-book series. Are they all out? Are you getting ready to launch them all at the same time? Are you do you have a mailing list? Are you just starting out? Have you done a bunch of stuff? Nothing? Like, where are you in the process? I don't know if you guys know this about me. I love marketing stuff.
Lisa also knows a lot of
marketing. I'm a super marketing nerd, and I always am curious as to what other people are doing, what works for them.
Another person, I just thought of another person that you could reach out to, Nicole. Her name is Zara Hoffman, and she also has a paranormal romance trilogy out. I just saw it yesterday on Kindle. And it's not my genre of expertise. I have never written a paranormal romance, so I cannot really help. But I am sure SD Hedges, Lisa, and Zara Hoffman could give you some tips specific to the genre.
Well, and the great thing about romance is that it's like mysteries and thrillers where the community is pretty tight-knit. And so if you are able to sort of crack that, group of early adopters and reviewers, that can really go a long way. Nicole says, I'll use your name, doll. There you go.
Sure.
Very, very nice.
I like connecting people who have like similar genres and similar, like, hey, you can reach out to each other and like, exchange some ideas specific to the genre. I wish I knew where the sci-fi people are, but I'm good at finding everything for everybody else, and then it's like, where is my people?
The sci-fi people are like all readers. They are on Goodreads. Right. That's where and they will be on your mailing list as you build that. So that's like, if you're only going to start with 2 things, I would say mailing list, right? And Goodreads to like really reach out. Ooh, okay. Ooh, Nicole. Okay, I plan on rapid releasing the first 3 in the fall. Fingers crossed. I have a newsletter, but a small one. I've been working on building up my social media followers. Well, that is really good. In particular, Instagram has a really vibrant and lively book community. So that is absolutely fantastic.
I just saw Lisa's Instagram recently, like your most recent updates to it, and my god, Lisa, your aesthetic on Instagram has bumped up. Like, oh my god, Lisa, your Instagram is beautiful.
I'm super excited about my Instagram. All right, let me see if I can share the screen. We're going to do this. I normally would be like, hey, everybody, let's look at my Instagram. But I'm going to do it today because I did like a whole...
It's a great example of revamping your Instagram with an aesthetic that is specific to your genre. It's a great example.
So I write rom-coms, and I live in Florida. I write at the beach when it's not a pandemic, and I'm very much like a beachy Florida rom-com writer. And so here's what I have done to my beautiful Instagram. I'm super proud of it. But I have like a variety of book flats. I'm doing a bunch of book reviews in my genre. So if you like this book, you'll definitely like this book. I am doing some, obviously we do some YouTube stuff on there, some little writer quotes, some pictures, talking to people about what they're reading, some TV stuff back when I was in the studio every week. Oh, missed that. So yes, thank you very much for saying nice things about my Instagram. I'm super
no, for real, it's not just being nice. Like, look at it. guys, look at it. There's a color palette. There is the consistency. There is the attached to the genre. Like, you
Yeah.
know, all of it is right there. There's the book reviews in your genre. So there's a connection for people to come into your platform and see what you're doing. So like you have all of it. You have your own pictures, which is something I don't do, and I will not do. But it's you know, you have your little snippets of your life. You have everything in there in a cohesive package. It's wonderful. I'm not just being nice. It's a great example of how to do it. You know, how to.
It's
go
very
about it properly.
aesthetically pleasing. Yes.
Thank you. I have to really, I really have to focus on, like, I really have to like kind of force myself to put up more pictures of me, because I don't feel like people, like, theoretically, I think like, oh, well, who wants to look at a bunch of stupid pictures of me other than like my relatives and my friends? But like, why would strangers want to see that? Except those are the pictures that always do the best, which is kind of interesting for me. So yeah, I spent a lot of time in December, and this is partly like I was inspired by Robert and his sort of idea to kind of step back and think about what you want to do.
Yes.
And right. So that Caro, always good with the planning stuff. And so I stopped trying to write in December. I just really focused on the couple of marketing priorities. And one of them was that I really wanted to focus on building up my Instagram, Bookstagram. So yeah, I'm really proud of it. So thank you for noticing. And I love it. All right.
Go ahead.
I want to
Robert.
get back to Nicole for a minute in terms
me
of the
too.
rapid release in the fall.
Yeah.
My question is, do you plan to release them all in the fall, all 3 novels, or space them out? Because I would say for self-publishing, rapid release when you're planning ahead like that, great idea, which is what I'm doing as well. But then you think about that 4 novel minimum for the year. You want to kind of release them 2 or 3 months apart, like maybe quarterly. That way you have time to build up for the next one. It's not all hitting at once, like here's all my books, and then you have 3 books to market and hope they'll go to the next one right after they finish the first, which is not always the case for a new writer. Get some impact, get some following going for the first one. Then a few months later, you have that time to market. You're coming out with another one. By the time you release them quarterly, most of the year is gone, and it looks like you're right on schedule, right on time. And that's important. Keeping that schedule and that promise to the readers.
Right. That is true. The consistency is super important.
Consistency is key. Someone who's great at rapid release, from what I have seen, is Miss Barbara Howard. Where is Barbara Howard? Usually she's top 5.
I know.
But yeah, she has done rapid release on her thriller series, Final Harvest, Charlotte's Revenge, and Milo's Journey. And so if you want to talk to her about like rapid release and how she's doing it, you should follow Barbara Howard on social media. She's usually around, so if she pops up, you will see her name and you can reach out to her for rapid release.
Yeah, well, and you remember, you can go back, look back in the archives of the live stream. We actually had Jewel Allen on the show.
That's true.
Right, several months ago. And she is like the queen of rapid release. And she wrote the book, literally wrote the book, Rapid Release. And she told us about her many, many, many secrets. So yeah, so you definitely want to go back and check that out too. Cool. All right, fantastic. So let's see. Charlotte says, I love marketing too. She has a master's in global marketing. Still haven't researched novel marketing that much yet. Still surface level. I'm focusing all my marketing Instagrams on all my marketing efforts on my Instagram art. I think that's a good way to build up an audience. I will say, if you're going to only do one thing, make it an email newsletter, because Instagram could catch on fire and like all of a sudden nobody thinks it's cool anymore and it can go away. If you have an email list, those people are yours to keep. You can push the button. You don't have to worry about algorithms or any of that other stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're only doing one thing, make it an email list. But Instagram, especially for books, really, really fantastic. All right, Very Bad Books, stuck in waiting hell right now. For you guys who don't know, she is in the process of querying, which is rough. She says, hate it. Just tell me if you like my first chapter or not. Come on. All right, we feel that.
I hear you.
I'm like in limbo, right?
Yes.
Oh.
I'm in the same boat. Just
All right. Here's the answer to this question. Ready? It's not my answer. It's Janet Ivanovich's answer. Write the next book, right? When you're waiting for your first batch of replies, just get going on the next one. That's it. All right. Charlotte says, gorgeous account. I need to. Oh, thank you. All right. What do you use for your images? I take pictures. I have a couple of friends in Sarasota, Siesta Key, where I live, who take these gorgeous pictures. And so they are kind enough to let me repost some stuff from their accounts. Of course, I always give them credit. And so I do that. I do some of the book flats. I do some of them. I have used. There's a service. I can't remember what it's called. I'll think of it. I'll track it down for you guys. And then I've had like a little helper help me. So it's kind of a mix. I am doing all my posts on Buffer so that I can see them all together. And yeah, I'm super, like, I was really excited about it. And I could not, like, we launched it on January 1st. And, in the beginning, you just, like, you could kind of see something's happening. But now, like, you can see the whole, like, because it's been a month and a half. And so now you can sort of see what it's looking like. And I'm like, is it dorky that I still, like, look at the whole thing and go, ooh?
No,
I think everybody does things like that.
Yeah, right? I mean, it's still really new to me, and I look at it and I go, oh, I love it. I love it.
It is. I talked about that yesterday on my stream, but not about Instagram. I talked about it with my writing. Because I am, like, since I figured out, like, imposter syndrome paralyzing me, and I was like, no, I need to get rid of that. And I was like, what is the root of the problem? Why are you feeling like a fraud? And I figured out the whole thing, and I have been working hard to get rid of that feeling and improving my craft, which was the root of the problem is that I feel unprepared and unknowledgeable and all those things. So since I started working on it and really, like, opening up my game, I look at my writing and I let the robot, which is a robot, remember, I allow the robot to just read it to me. And I am getting an emotion out of it, like, oh, wow, wait. And it's not because I wrote it, it's because it sounds, even with a robotic voice, it sounds much better. It has a unique tone to it. It has, like, everything I want that thing to be. I'm not there yet, but it's getting there. And it's like, now it's better. Yeah. And it's not dorky, and it's not arrogant. It's like you're proud of yourself. You're seeing your progress. You're like, it's so great. It's a nice feeling, and there is nothing wrong with having a positive feeling about your work. I mean, it's your work. You're putting on the effort. So
right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you not only hear errors, but those bad word choices when you have something like that read it to you, because sometimes words don't always flow as well when you hear it as they look on the page. And I say, if you have a Kindle, there's an email to your Kindle. If you don't know it, you can find it on Amazon. It's usually like your name @kindle.com.
Yeah.
And just email it to your Kindle, and you can have it read it in any of the Kindle voices.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea, Robert.
That kind of tricks you, like you're listening to somebody else's book, because you have the Kindle that you're used to hearing other people work on.
Right.
And then you're hearing yours, and it's like, does this sound as good as...
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and also you notice different things when you read something out loud or have it read to you out loud than you do when you're just reading it. Because your brain knows what is supposed to be there, but it's different if you're hearing it.
Yes.
So I read my own stuff out loud. And then when I'm like, if I'm trying to figure out a problem for someone else, like, where is this going off? And I'm struggling with that. If you read it out loud, like, you can almost always sort of figure things out. Laurel has given some really fantastic little. I
agree 100%.
Right, 6-figure authors, 20 books to 50K. They have some great advice. Chris Fox, I heart Chris Fox. Chris Fox is awesome. And Creative Pen, that's Joanna Penn's. Right. She has a really nice we just did with Tamara Wood's Writers Workshop Book Club. We just did the Your Author Business Plan book, which I got on Kindle. I also got the workbook, which I thought was really helpful. And I think one of the ideas about, which I say all the time, which is that you really have to approach your writing like it is a business, right? This is not a hobby, that this is something that if you actually want to earn a living at, you have to focus on that and make sure that you're, at least keeping that in mind. Certainly create your art, but you could eat also. I think you could do both of those things at the same time. So all good advice, Laurel. Thank you so much. Michael says, oh, thank you. All right. Aphrodite says, Sleep is winning. I will check out the rewatch.
She went to sleep.
Oh, right. Okay.
Sleep is necessary.
Also, when you're revising your book, think about that ideal reader, the person that you really want to read it. And if you can come up with a profile for that, helps you find beta readers, because if you can find something that matches your ideal reader profile, then they'll probably be a better beta reader than just finding an average.
I totally agree with that. And I would not wait until you're revising. I would keep that reader avatar in mind when you're starting to write.
Keep thinking about it and revising it just like anything else.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I think that and the thing is, I don't want people to think like, oh, if I have to keep all this marketing stuff in mind, then it's going to somehow impact my writing. It will, but it'll be in a positive way. And I'm not saying and I'm not advocating for or against writing to market. I just think you really need to know who your reader is and make sure that you're writing for them. All right. So Nicole says, I batch wrote these to rapid release about a month apart, but I need way more than 90 days to write a book. So I know I can't consistently release quarterly. I have a fantasy about releasing quarterly, but I know it's never going to happen. How long does it take you, Nicole, to write? How long is it taking you right now to write a book? All right, here we go. I want to know.
If you have everything in draft, I would say it's a good idea to get them at least in draft and maybe polish them up a little bit, so at least your arc is consistent. And then by the time you release the first one, you have that few months to put the final touches on it, work on it. It's about working ahead, because you really only launch once. And if you can only put out a book a year, or you're working a day job, then that's really problematic. And most people can't do that. And when I first came to self-publishing, I talked to a lot of people, some people that you might recognize as big names, when they had their message boards all over the place. Mm-hmm. And they're like, well, unless you can write full time, this isn't for you. And I was like,
yeah. There are plenty of people making a living writing and not making a living writing with day jobs. And a lot of people wrote their first book or their second or their first 10 with day jobs. So
there's always a way. There is always a
way. Right. You don't know, there's no schedule that you have to write on. If you write a book a year and that's what you can do, then that's what you should do. Write a good book. Mm-hmm. All right. Annuel is here. Hello, darling.
Hi, Annuel.
Glad to see you. All right. Spence says she's in lurky mode, but now she has a sandwich. Laurel is imagining Lisa's little helper as the new drug on the street. All right. That's funny. My little helper's name is Beth. And what she does is we put all these, we put all the posts, like we organize all the posts, and she will upload them into Buffer for me. Not that I can't do it, but it's sort of a little bit time consuming. And so it's better it's better for me to pay her to do that. And she's like just out of college. She's very reasonable and lovely. And then the other thing she's great at that I am not as great at is that she does like hashtag research. So she'll like I'll write the post, but then she'll figure out what hashtags to use. Because usually when I do them, I just use them like to make a joke. And that's not how you're supposed to do it. So she does that. And then other things is that she'll nag me. She'll be like, I just want you to know you have a post coming up tomorrow and you have not written any copy for it. And I go, oh, thanks, Beth. And so that is Lisa's little helper. The lovely and talented Beth. She's awesome. All right, here we go. Michael's laughing at that. Good tip. Michael, proud of my Instagram, and I don't even have any posts. Now I have to go look at that.
Might be proud of his bio.
Yeah, right? Charlotte, I read it out all the time. I'll read it when I write, then I reread it a few days once I've forgotten. So, Matt, surprising how many words you write wrong. Yep. All right. Eva has Instagram, but I'm not consistent. I don't have a book yet, so I figure I'll master consistency and what the heck and to do when I'm closer and have fun floundering for now. Yes, there you go. All right. It is surprising how many words you can write wrong.
Yeah, when
Michael's on a roll today, right? No snort there, but you were close, buddy. You were this close to the snort laugh. All right, 6 to 12 months. Okay, so if you're going to rapid release so let's talk strategy on that, right? Because your theory, story detective Robert Jones, was that you want to be consistent. So that she should like try and write one every quarter. But if she can only do it one every 6 to 12 months, she could do the first 3 together in order to try and build up an audience and then put another one out 6 months later and 6 months or 8 months after that.
Try to add a few more months to that because editing, beta readers, feedback, blah, blah.
Well, if she's written 3, she probably knows how long it takes, though.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, speaking of writing and writing slow.
Yeah. Wow, Dom, that was
I'm on a roll. I'm back on the game today, and I have 425 words total. So I wrote 320 words on the last sprint, and I'm rolling with this nightmare.
We got to get rolling then. All right, here we go, everybody. Let me get my little screen share up here. Good gracious. That was like the transition of the week there, doll. That was pretty impressive, I think. All right. Hold on, everybody. We are going, doll's got some writing to do, as do we all. Here we go, everybody.
Yes.
We're going to get rolling in 3, 2. I love this song. Such a nerd. right, here we go. Timer. Yeah. All right, there we go, everybody. Oh, Doll's still muted, but I don't think I muted her.
I did.
Yay! Okay, fantastic. How'd you do, Doll?
I'm looking. I am at 711 words total. So I wrote more than 300 words in the process.
Very nice. Very, very nice. How about you, Robert?
I don't know number wise, but I started a new chapter, and that's good.
I don't think my flash fiction is being politically correct, because I am calling out on a specific group as the character, and it's just like I'm not holding back. I had a bear. It's rough, it's ugly. I'm not holding back. So I'm following a piece of advice that I got from Robert, actually, when he told me, I have a sense that maybe you're holding back and you shouldn't. And I'm like, that's true. I am holding back, and I'm like, nope, yes. I'm not doing that anymore. And now it's coming out very raw. So, like, just to be clear, like, if there is any Catholic in the chat, I'm so sorry, but this flash fiction has a whole calling out on Catholics in general, and it's not pretty. It's not pretty.
All right. Well, and the good thing about laying it out all on the page is that you can always, if you want it to be published later, you can always pull back on things or eliminate them if that is your choice.
It's
right?
not clear. It's not clear, but it's like the character is really okay. This is a horror for sure, but it's like I don't know if this genre even exists, but I call it nightmare fiction. And I don't care. So I'm writing basically nightmares. And in this story, the main character, the narrator, is pissed at her roommate. Her roommate is Catholic, and the figurine of the Virgin Mary is moving around the house, and she thinks they are pranking me because I'm pagan. And so she's pissed at the roommate. Yeah, she's pissed at the roommate for like pranking her with a Catholic figurine, and she's like fucking hypocrite. Like, and then she's calling out Jehovah's Witnesses for trying to convert people, and look at her, fucking hypocrite. You know, she's like, so it is not politically correct because I'm calling out on a group, but I mean the heat of the moment, the character is pissed.
Right, it's a character who is being tortured by.
Yeah, if it's coming from a character point of view, then that's the character's point of view. But if a writer held back in terms of, I think what we all do, especially in the beginning, is we're afraid we're going to offend people because we show our writing to people who are like, oh, you shouldn't say that, or you shouldn't do this, and you shouldn't be writing anyway. But if a writer is worried about offending people, there would be no writers.
Exactly. True.
So like, in the context of this particular story, it makes sense that she's getting really angry because the prank is. Yeah.
Right. She's being haunted by a religious figurine. So
yeah, and she's like, what the hell is going on here? It's like, why is she doing that? Like, why would she do this to me? Like my roommate, you know, like why would she do this to me? And it's a whole thing. I have never had that experience in real life. I don't know why I had that nightmare, but I had other kind of experiences, but not a prank like that. So I don't know why I would have such a dream.
Who knows why the brain does what it does? All right, you guys, let's go see what everybody's saying in the chat. Charlotte says, I write a bit slow, a bit too slow. I try to get an hour a day. You know what? You just write as much as you can. At some point, you're like, you'll be like, I have to carve out more time. Or you will produce books on an hour a day. You will not be the first or the last to do so. Eva, let's see. Charlotte says exactly. Eva, I just want to finish first. We're talking about getting Instagram done after your book is out. Jean says, OMG, hi, Jean. We're so glad to see you today. She published an Easter coloring book. That's awesome. Fantastic. She's super excited that we are here today on Wednesday. We are always here Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you for coming. All right. Nicole wants to know, does anybody else use a critique circle? I do not. Does anybody else?
I wish I had one because I want.
I'm sorry. I
want to have one. But 2020 was
Nothing. I'm sorry. I jumped down. I apologize.
Uh-oh.
So,
No, it's
are
okay.
you okay? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you would like to have a critique circle. Robert, do you use a critique circle?
No. I have
He's like, no.
I have a couple of people that I trust, and that's about it. Aside from that,
Yeah.
I think getting the people that you,
yeah.
Yeah. I have a similar thing. I have other authors who read my stuff, who I read their stuff. It's not necessarily the same. Some people just read my stuff, and for whatever reason, I don't read their stuff. And then some people, I read their stuff, and I don't send. And a lot of times it's a genre thing where I don't have them read my stuff. But and then some people, I read theirs, they read mine. Yeah, but I wouldn't really call it a critique circle, and it sort of depends. And sometimes whether, like, if I'm trying to solve a particular issue or something like that. All right, JC said I accidentally got lost down the social media rabbit hole.
That can happen,
right?
That means you're anxious, or something is creating some anxiety, and you're kind of procrastinating because you're scared of something that you have to do.
Or it means that your brain has been taken over by social media because, oh my gosh, there is a documentary on Netflix right now about all of these people who were like the early people at Google and Instagram and Twitter. And it's basically how they like keep tweaking the psychology of social media so that you pick it up and you're just
great
right.
point.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just this incredibly addictive thing, and that it is advancing so much faster than our brains are. And that, like, even these people who like invented Twitter and Instagram and Pinterest are like, I can't get off it. I have to lock my car. I have to lock my phone in my car at night. Like,
wow.
Yeah, it's terrifying. And I was like, I should do less social media as I scroll through my beautiful Instagram feed. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Michael, this is what made me feel about it. How much did you write, Robert? I don't do numbers.
Normally I do, but since I'm editing and I finished one chapter and started another, I know that I've gotten a couple of pages down. But as far as new stuff that I wrote and what I've done, I'm not keeping track of that right now. I'm just trying to move forward.
Yes, there we go. Very good. All right. NUL wrote 371. Woohoo! Yay!
Wonderful.
That's awesome. Spence says Catholics make low-key and high-key great characters in horror. So do sexually aware college students. And right, there are a lot. Right, you can make having. Yeah. Now that I'm not now. So for those of you who don't know, my significant other, it's the horror geek who has a big YouTube channel, but he's also like been a horror reviewer for like 20 years. And I watch a lot of horror, which I never used to like at all before, and now I kind of love. And there are lots of tropes in horror and lots of common bad guys, and bad ladies. But I really like it. I think it's that I had just not watched good horror for a long time. All right. Laurel wants to know more about the coloring book and alphabet books. Charlotte says nothing against religious people. Catholic Church is pissing me off. Kissing babies. Yeah, kissing babies during COVID. I'm not on board with that. Yeah. Jean decided to use some low content books.
I didn't know that.
Okay, so low content books on KDP to get going. I think this is a great idea. I've already made a journal. I have 2 author pseudonyms. Look at you. Laurel wants to know, do you draw all the pictures or use them from the internet? Michael has a critique triangle. NUL wants a link to the coloring book. Here, Jean, I'm going to give you a wrench. Oops, I can't. Can I do that? Oh, hold on. I got to go to the other page.
On the YouTube.
I don't have it open. All right. All right. Here, just send us your put in the chat your pseudonym so that we can find the coloring book. Oh, this is a good question from Laurel. What do you do for social media on your coloring book author's pseudonym? Michael's like killing me today. Robert, do you use a critique? Robert, no. Is there another sprint today? Sorry, I came in so late. Dull. Where can Jean find another sprint today? Well, there tonight you can do SAVY'S AuthorTube sleepover, but that's a little later. Tell me, I don't know why I can never remember.
The Dawdling Writer has a stream. If she's still streaming on Wednesday at noonish, like at this time, so the Dawdling Writer will be sprinting. And where's Devin?
I know.
Devin is the one that does like a daily streaming playlist,
right,
on YouTube. So like on his channel, he has like a playlist of daily streams. But you can just like, if you cannot find the streams that I'm talking about, you can just type writing productivity sprints on the search bar and someone will pop up, because there is always someone streaming.
There is always someone streaming. That is absolutely true. All right. JC wants to know any word on how Caro is doing and how the move is going. Speaking of horror. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So Caro is having pretty much the worst move in the history of moves. But we send her love and hugs, and hopefully she'll be back soon. We don't know when she's going to be back, because she has a very, very full plate. And imagine like any move that you have, every possible thing that could go wrong going wrong. And that is half as bad as Caro's move has been. This is going to be one for the record books. And you guys know how like organized and on top of everything Caro is. So like, just if this could happen to her, it could happen to anyone. It's just a terrible thing. Anyway, she's a badass. We all love her, and we cannot wait for her to come back. And hopefully this will get straightened out pretty soon. Oscar says 7 minutes to 7 p.m. cat feeding time, and the cat jumps on the sofa and starts screaming, "Food!" Be right back. I'm not a crazy cat lady. I'm married.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that has those problems.
Yeah. I always love seeing your cats like wandering through. I love seeing everybody's animals wandering through. All right. Lisa, hold on a second. Listen, what I'm asking you is if Robert. No. I love Devin, but I will say Michael has really stepped up today. I mean, oh my gosh, he is on a roll.
I could tell some stories about the, my fears of the critique circle, but that was all in the professional world when I worked as part of a large group, and it became more of a circle jerk.
Yeah.
It was insane.
I tried starting a critique group, whatever, last October or something. Not everyone that was there, but I mean, like there were a few individuals that I was like, maybe I'm just hanging out with the wrong crowd, and I don't want to be a part of a critique circle with these people anymore. So I had to take a break and redefine my own attitude and like try to find the right people for the things that I want to write. So that's why, Nicole, that's why I said reach out to SD Hedges, reach out to Zara Hoffman, because I'm sure they write paranormal romance. So like they would have like specific things on the genre, and you can get like more. Like I try to reach out to people who don't read sci-fi, because I don't know where the sci-fi people are. And sometimes when they really don't know the genre, they don't know what to tell you. So like they don't, because it's like, yeah, well, I don't read this genre, so I don't know what to tell you. I think it sounds pretty good. And that's all I get. And it's like, that doesn't work. So it's hard. It's hard to find a group of trusty people. I don't know what to tell you, because I'm in the same boat, kind of.
Well, so for me, when I am looking for critique partners, I want someone who's farther along in the process than I am. So if you're a beginning writer, you want more experienced writers, you want people who are published. And I think that in some ways it's a good idea to have people who are in your specific genre. But it's also a good idea to have people who are just good writers, because
a mix of those both things.
Good writing goes a long ways, and
it does.
Not everybody can look at it that objectively. They have their genre, and it's like they don't read beyond it, so they're afraid almost to critique something else, and that kind of telling in its own right. And then in the professional world, there's the arrogance, and nobody reads anything and nobody can tell anything. We all get ideas from everybody, but when I was a younger person just starting out, sitting in that group talking back and forth, it's like we'd have these ideas of where the story's going next, what the next story is going to be. No matter what idea comes up, it could be the best idea on the planet, but it won't come out the same idea by the time it goes through the post office of the circle. Right. And then I was sitting there and we're talking about the last issue, and I said that was a really good idea because it was just in the novel that came out at that time by Dean Koontz. I said, was that from the recent Dean Koontz novel that inspired that? Lead writer. What? Who's Dean Koontz?
Oh no!
Oh my God!
It's like that tells me, yes, that's where you got it from. And secondly,
yeah. Oh, that's bad.
Secondly, I put my foot in my mouth without really meaning to.
That's bad. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Hilarious and bad. So a couple of things, Nicole. There are often writers groups that happen at bookstores, and obviously that is probably not going on in the same way. You can always reach out to people from AuthorTube, and I would start with people whose writing you actually like and admire, and they don't necessarily have to be published, just farther along the process than you are. So let us know. Just be brave. That's the other thing. You are not the only person in that boat. So
it's a trial and error situation. It's a trial and error.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And a lot of being a writer and being an author is just being brave. So you just gotta take your big deep breath and go forward and ask that person to read your work. And eventually, people that you connect with, you guys will they'll ask you to read their stuff, you ask them to read your stuff. And it is hard in the beginning, but then eventually you'll just sort of find yourself with kind of a crew of people. Spence posted the YouTube playlist for of all the sprints that are going on today. JC, do you guys, any of you have videos on your channel of your office space? I do. I'm redoing my space soon, and I'm kind of looking for inspiration aesthetics-wise. Let me see if I can find it. I will try and track it down. I did it like really, really early on. Oh, here, I found it. I did it really, really early on when I first started my channel, so I'm kind of a goofball in it. I apologize in advance for that. But let's see if you can. Here's the link. There you go. All right.
There's random videos that show a good chunk of my studio, which has a better view than this. But which ones they are, where I actually photographed around a little bit, I can't remember. I think they were like the vlog videos that I did. Jean says, I'd rather see someone's pretty organized kitchen cabinets than an office space. It's tax time. I have 3 18-inch stacks of paper on my desk. I just did my taxes and sent them off. I'm actually going to do a video about this because I think that's authors do not take a lot of the deductions that they could take. And I have been obviously self-employed for a long time.
That's very interesting.
One of the things that you guys may not know about this year, because there has not been a lot of talk about it, is that if you are self-employed and you were not able to work because of either having COVID symptoms or because you had to take care of someone like a kid or a family member who had COVID symptoms, or if you couldn't work because your child's school was closed, you can actually get what amounts to sick pay. It's like 2/3 of what you normally would earn. And if you're doing like a TurboTax or something like that, there's like a special COVID questionnaire kind of thing at the end. But generally, this is not something that is available to self-employed writers or authors. So if you did have any sort of COVID time when you were missing out on work or writing, be sure to check that out. All right.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
I would also say for me, and I used to have that habit too, where I do my bills or taxes or whatever in the same space that I would write. And if it became a frustrating time, especially like tax time, then I wouldn't want to sit there for a while and work on my writing. So I would try to keep it in a different space. Otherwise, you kind of poison your own creativity.
That is a good idea. You definitely don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Michael says, customs officer at the Canadian border. What's the purpose of your visit to Canada?
Oh boy.
JC. All right, Maya. Hey, Maya. Maya says, I write paranormal romance. I also have trouble finding critique partners. It's not easy. Wait, hold on. You guys write in the same
The same genre. There you go.
Maya.
There's Maya.
There's
Maya,
a critique partner hookup.
Right there. Oh, the things that happen in this stream, you guys. Okay, Maya, meet Nicole. Nicole, meet Maya. Here's Nicole. There you go. You guys write each other's names down and connect.
Connect on social media.
On social media, YouTube right after this. All right. Ooh, and look at this. Charlotte says, I've read a few people's books if anyone needs me to read theirs. What? All right, fantastic.
Thank you, Charlotte.
That's right. Thank you very much. JC says, thanks. Robert, don't worry. I'll go hunt them down. Yes, we need that video. All right. I put it in the thing. I put it in the
description.
The chat. I think it's just it just says author writing space tour. And yeah, you'll get to see. I will often say that my office is a teeny bit like a beach souvenir stand. Which you guys can already see kind of my aesthetic, but anyway, I go through the whole thing. So there you go. Nicole says, I have found my people.
So proud of this.
Congrats.
That's right. And that is what we're here for too. So
on that note, I mean, it's kind of time to.
It's 1:06. It's time to go. Now you jumped in on my transition, but you saw where I was going with that, doll.
Yeah.
On that note, I love it when stuff like that happens here. You guys are awesome, and I'm so glad that you guys show up every week. Let's do some quick outros before we go, since I've already kept everybody to 1:06, and we usually end at 1, and then we will head out. Oh, she says, no, I mean, we need that taxes video for writers. I'm on it. I'm working on it right now, so hopefully
let's do it.
And she says, no, don't leave. Love you. All right. I will do that because I have, I've been freelancing and an author for a long time now. So I do have, and it used to be like when I did my taxes, I had like what Robert described, where I basically would have like a room with little stacks of paper all around where I'm trying to figure stuff out. And I do not do that anymore. Like it usually doesn't take me more than a day, half a day. And yeah. All right, look at this. We need more tax videos. Thanks and bye. Author business videos. You got it. Coming your way. All right, let's say goodbye. Robert, say goodbye to the people. Tell them about your channel before we go.
Well, my channel is The Story Detective, where I apparently say no a lot. I take everything story-oriented. I put it under a Sherlockian microscope, break it down, give the viewers the facts, in hopes to make your writing easier. I also do tech reviews where I break that down and hope to make your writing tech easier.
Nice. I like that. Look at you working on that during the sprint. Very nice. Let's not break it down. That was good. Okay, it was terrible. All right, Doll, tell us about you before we go. There she is, beautiful
there
girl.
I am. I mean, I'm sorry I'm not presentable today. I'm really sorry. But hey, thank you so much for having me on the stream today. I am Books Cecil Runo. I'm a partially blind own voices author, also known as the Ace from Space. I write primarily science fiction, but I also write to other genres in my short stories, and I write some poetry. My channel is a bit of an eclectic experience, and I stream on Tuesdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Thank you, and hopefully I will see you soon.
Yes. Well, I did put your the link to your channel. I fixed that. It's good. Robert's is now good, and I did note the time of your live stream in the description. Again, that's Tuesdays. And then Savvy has her AuthorTube sleepover tonight, which is at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central. I'm Lisa Daly. I'm a traditionally published author. And if you want to write a book you're super proud of and get it published, this is a great place to hang out. Anyway, thank you guys so much for being here today. You guys are awesome. Hold on here. Charlotte says, I thought we had one more sprint. No, because we are super chatty. We usually end at 1. I'm sorry, we're 10 minutes over. And we were short of sprint, but we did have a lot of stuff to talk about today. JC says, beautiful doll. Charlotte says, doll, you're beautiful. Hearts from Jean. Everybody loves you, girl. All right. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for being here today. We will see you next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. And next time, let's hopefully get in one extra sprint. Although I always love when we get to the business talk, because that is,
it's important too. It's also
exactly
important.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. We'll see you next time. Bye.
See you next